What's up, fellow farm introverts? We've been working hard all summer chopping wood to get ready for wood stove heating our house this winter, but our wood pile is still sad because it has no roof on it.
So today we're going to build a cheap, easy, quick roof over our wood pile to keep it dry.
Let's do this!
Farm Shivers.
Last year we threw down a couple free pallets, pounded in some T-posts next to that, stacked all the wood on there, and then we took tennis balls and cut little slits in them and stuck them on top of the T-post, and then threw a tarp over that and just rubber banded it to the T-post. But as you can see, that was a super temporary fix.
The first step in building our new roof over our wood pile is to fit these really cool T-post brackets that we found at a website called smartatfixes.com, smartatfixes.com, and they are meant to allow you to hook up 2x4s, or really 2x anything, to a T-post. And they're pretty cool. They slip on the back just like this. You sort of turn them diagonal, and then you slip on, and then they pin in place just like that. So we're going to fix all 4 of these to our T-posts, and then come back and do the next step, which is putting wood around, building a frame. We're just going to build a rectangular frame out of 2x4s now that we've got our little brackets in place on all of our T-posts, and we're using some 2x4s that we found at the bargain bucket at the back of the Home Depot lumber section. They are 70% off at our Home Depot if they're marked with this purple spot. So every time we go to Home Depot, if we need a new tool or whatever, we're always checking that bargain bin, and if there's anything we think we can use, we just pick it up. It's a great way to have just stuff laying around just for projects like this that don't need a lot of precision things. You just use the scraps that you got, and so we're going to cut these and build the frame. This one's so far so good. We're going to end up needing one more support piece in the middle here, so we're just going to mark that off. That way when we overlap the roofing things, it'll be supported in 3 spots across, not just on the 2 ends, and it won't sag in the middle. Okay, so I've never been a big fan of screwing in screws diagonally. I just don't like it. I've never liked it. So what we're going to do is we're just going to put 2 screws all the way around this first half of the rectangle, just holding the wood together like that. We'll put the first 2 screws in here, top and bottom. All right, so just to give it a little extra stability here, we found a piece of scrap wood out in our scrap wood pile, and we're going to anchor this guy to him so that he gets a nice straight line down the back, and we can attach a piece across the back in case we get one of those really rainy, windy days where the rain's blowing sideways. We don't want to just completely negate our nice roof job here, so we'll give him some protection in the direction that we usually get our bad weather. I tend to prefer these inside corners when I'm building boxes and frames and stuff, but there's all different ways you can build these things. This is just how I prefer it.
Next we're going to take these 4 clear roofing panels and throw them on top.
Look out! It's construction zone. You have your hard hat on? We're gonna screw this guy in. To do that, we're using these roofing nails. It's probably overkill because we're talking wood pile, but we had a bunch of these when we actually built a metal roof onto one of our buildings and onto the chicken coop, yeah. So they're really cool. They got those little suction guys, and that stops water from getting through, theoretically. They don't, I've never really been able to find them that fit like a Phillips. They always have this hex head. And we have somewhere, we have an attachment that this will just fit right in. But if you don't have one, don't sweat it. it actually just fits right in the chuck of your drill if you just tighten your drill slowly. So there you go. So you can actually just use the chuck of your drill if you don't have one of those cool hex attachments for your drill. So, and you don't actually need to like hit this guy crazy hard. You don't want to like smush the pancake way down. Drill them maybe every 3 feet or so all the way around. So one thing we haven't mentioned yet, but is super important, is make sure your roof is sloping down to one side so that water will run off it. It seems self-explanatory, but the worst thing that can happen is you build this beautiful roof and it's completely flat and the water just pools on top of it and then finds a way through and just rains down on your wood pile anyway. So sloped roof is the way to go. So on our property, the weather generally moves from behind where you guys are, sort of across the top. So to prevent those really bad storms from just raining sideways right into our wood pile, we're gonna put a little bit of a back across the top of our wood pile here to keep our wood dry during those really bad storms. If you're interested in the materials we used and where we got them and how much it all cost, we're going to include that in the description below. So there you go. The roof and the back is on the wood pile, and hopefully it will keep our wood nice and dry for many years to come.
Yeah, just in time too, because it looks like a big storm is brewing behind us. The sky is nice and dark, so we'll be able to see right away if this thing keeps our wood dry or not.
Fingers crossed. We'll see you next time on the Farm Traverse.